Hello, my name is Leo, and welcome to a new day of the Elder Scrolls Arena. We're on our way to the next town. I've forgotten the name of that town, but that's a fine. We used to be in Duncoy Walk, and I remember that town because we were in there for like a week. And this is like the third time that I've been to that town. The point is, I remember the name of some towns more than others. And I remember Iron Maval, I remember Duncoy Walk, I remember Sea Place, regardless of the fact that I've never been there. I'm never going to really go there. I just know that there was a mission that I was supposed to go there and I failed it. I mainly remember it because it's an easy to remember name, unlike Dancoy Walk, for example. Um, what was the first place? Chase Grove. I remember Chase Grove. And there was Port New View. That was the second town that we visited. Whatever. Let's move on. So today, what happened? I went for a drive. Took Dad out. Dad-in-law, that is. To his work, which we do every week. Now, interesting thing happened. Yeah, it's kind of well, there's a couple of things. I don't know if I mentioned this about my father-in-law's car, which has now become my car because the car that I was using has been fixed, and dad-in-law's decided he's going to use it. I'm actually fine with that because the new car actually has like the ability to plug a SD card into it with MP3s on it, or a USB stick. Actually, I'm using a USB stick. Shut up, PlayStation 3. Stop talking to me. So I can plug my USB stick with some music on it and actually listen to music in the car. It's great. Instead of before, where I could do it if I burnt them to a CD. But then I did that for like the Nitronic Rush soundtrack, and like half the songs didn't play, and it was pointless. There's like 4 songs would play, and then it would just cut out and stop. Great, fantastic, whatever. Anyway, I might have mentioned this when I was talking about how weird it was driving this car, because it's quite different from a car that I've ever driven before. It's got the front seat, or seats, if you will. The driver and passenger seat are all combined. It's just one big long seat with a little armrest that you can pull down if you want to. So as such, there's no space for a what do you call the little box next to next to the driver that you can put stuff in? It's not the glove box. The glove box is where you put the glove box is the one that's under the dashboard in front of the passenger seat. What's the name? What's the name of that little? In Fast and the Furious 2, they were looking for something, a cigar clipper or lighter or something, and they found it inside that piece of the car. What is it called? In the central glove box? Maybe that's what it's called, central glove box. Sounds about right. Whatever. Anyway, it doesn't have one of those. Obviously, it also doesn't have a handbrake or an e-brake. Well, it does, but it's not a stick. Yeah, it's not a stick that you pull, right? It is a pedal. It's a third pedal. It's not an automatic car, so it's where the well, it's actually not where the manual pedal would be. The manual pedal is still there as like a solid footrest for you. It's slightly to the right of that is this slightly smaller pedal that's basically like, when you're riding a bike and you go to park the bike and you got the little kickstand? It's basically that. It's basically a little kickstand. You push it in, it locks in, and that's your handbrake. And then when you want to go, you press it. And I've been driving this car so often that when I drove my old car, or the old car, which is the one that the dad-in-law's driving today, and I went to push the pedal, and like, oh yeah, I gotta pull the handbrake. Well, I didn't have to because he never uses the handbrake, which is dumb. The car like almost rolls away half the time. But anyway, yeah, it's just weird. It's weird that I've gotten used to using that little kickstand handbrake thing. It's bizarre. Another thing that I noticed on our drive, now it's a fairly long drive. It's about 1 hour drive. A little bit to the east, mostly to the south, going along this fairly long main road that is only 50 kilometers an hour, despite the fact that it's a main friggin' road with like at least two lanes both ways. The two directions are completely separated by a giant area of ground, and at some point I'm pretty sure it's three lanes both ways. Anyway, whatever. I'm not butthurt or anything. About halfway through the journey, there is a little tunnel. You go through a mountain, right? That's fine. What I've always noticed is during the day when you go in. Now the new car doesn't have this problem. The old car I had, you go in there, and when you're in there, you just like there's lights. There's like orangey sort of lights, but they're really like dim. So you can't see anything. Like I couldn't actually see the dashboard. Not the dashboard, the speedometer of the car in the old car. So I'd actually have to turn like the parking lights on so that the speedometer would light up and I can see. I don't have this problem with the new car because it's always lit up because it's one of them newfangled cars. But it's just really weird that it's just so dark in this tunnel. Now at night time, because we're coming home at night time, it's actually perfectly fine. It's, because in Japan, like the main road, like I was saying, two lanes both ways, main thoroughfare for a lot of traffic. No, like, street lights at all. The only street lights is they have a single street light at each intersection. Or each like on-ramp, off-ramp sort of thing. So you actually know where the on-ramp, off-ramp is. But apart from that, there's no lights whatsoever. So the only lights you really get are from like houses or shops on the side of the road. So when you go into the tunnel, it's like, whoa, look at all this light. Whereas in the daytime, it's like, where the hell's all the light? And one thing I noticed tonight, and I didn't notice this until today, is that there are actually what seem to be very bright floodlights at very frequent intervals throughout the tunnel, but I've never seen them turned on. And that's when I realized these red lights that I'm seeing are the emergency lights. When the power goes out, it's supposed to switch to emergency lighting, and it's like sort of red. I don't know if that really happens in America or Australia, but you've seen that. I've seen that in anime, a few things like Evangelion and that. So it's that emergency light, but it's always on that. They never turn on the proper lights. Maybe the council decided to do that to save power, but dudes, for a time now I couldn't see my friggin' speedometer and I was possibly speeding, and I was like, why is that my fault? I can't see the friggin' speedometer because you don't turn the damn lights on in your stupid tunnel. Anyway, moving on. So, what else happened today? Not a lot. I came home to this god-awful smell that was in this house. I think the mother-in-law cooked some fish, something, and it just smelled terrible. God, it's really bad. But, interesting thing to note is tomorrow is my birthday. Yeah, I actually forgot, because I forget every year. Usually, I'm at home, and it's like my birthday, or it's like the day before my birthday, and my mum calls me, and she's like, "What do you want to go out to like a steak restaurant for your birthday?" I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Leo, tomorrow's your birthday. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's right. And then I have to ask the question which I ask every year since I turned about 21. Mum, how old am I again? You're 20, whatever. Oh, okay, thanks. So I don't remember how old I am, which also means that I don't know how old I will be tomorrow. But it's either late 20s or very early 30s. Or 30. Whichever comes first. No, not whichever comes first, because that's obviously 30. Whichever it actually is. So it's somewhere between 27 and 31. But I'm not actually sure how old I am. I'd have to Skype my mom and ask her, yeah, how old am I again? I forgot. Because, I mean, when I turned 21, I stopped counting. Because what's the friggin'... No, I think it was actually 24 when I stopped counting. Because what's, what's the friggin' point anymore? Who cares? It's just... I'm old enough to drink, have sex, smoke, though I don't smoke, drive. What else can you do? That's about it. Watch porn. Play 18 plus video games. Although in Australia we didn't have an 18 plus rating until very recently. That's about it. Yeah. So, I mean, as long as you're 21, you're golden. I mean, I think there are some countries that are 24 is like the legal limit for alcohol or something. Well, whatever. The point is, you're over 24. Who cares about counting your age anymore? I'm getting old. Whatever. No one cares. I care. I don't want to get old. No, I don't really care. Well, you know, if yesterday's fantasy comes to light and I can go back in time and inhabit a younger body of myself, well, more power to me. I'll be happy then. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow. So if you wanna wish me a happy birthday in the comments, you'd probably be the only one. So it'd make me really happy if you did that. And you could also subscribe to my channel and it'd make me really happy, and maybe like my video, and maybe tell all your friends about Leo the Movie 27, because he's a really funny guy who says really funny stuff and does really stupid things in video games. Like spending an entire week to fast travel from one town to the other. Thumbs up! So, yeah, that's about it. So tomorrow I'll give you the birthday update. I got a 1,000 yen voucher to go to Gyoza Place that I go to. If it's my birthday, and you know it's my birthday, so I'm gonna use it. Jesus. But for now, my name is Leo, and I'll see you next time.